I could never serve an unfair and unjust God who's been unfair and unjust from day one. Now you create your own motherfucking enemy, your own failure. You know what I'm saying? And instead of you dealing with that shit, like destroying the motherfucker or putting that motherfucker somewhere else, you had Pluto, you had Venus, which is closer to the sun, you had Mars, all these other fucking planets that you could have put that bitch where that motherfucker can never have interaction with nobody else, but you chose to send the motherfucker to Earth with your creation, and then didn't even have the common decency to warn a motherfucker that you had done did that. That was your easiest assignment. You had two motherfuckers to tell. Two motherfuckers that would have believed you because you've been walking with them every day. The easiest assignment. And you let them be deceived by a motherfucker that you sent there as their punishment. Diabolical. And then, to make matters worse, the first two children, you're going to give them an assignment to bring forth the first fruits, right? And offer unto you as a sacrifice. Now, one of them is a sheep herder, and the other one, is, an agricultural guy. You know what I'm saying? He's planting, and he's trying to grow, his vegetation and shit. And Abel, every day, lets his goddamn sheep graze in the man's pastures where he's growing his food and shit. So his goats, Abel's goats, is getting all of Cain's first fruits. And, when it's time to bring forth that offering, you gonna curse Cain because he didn't bring the first fruits, which he had none to bring, because Abel's goats sheep done ate them all up. And you bless Abel and don't expect that man to feel some kind of way. And even though Cain keep on, approaching the man behind the shit. Hey man, stop letting your sheep, graze in my food pasture and shit, you know what I'm saying? You ain't did nothing about that. You ain't even try to help the man out on nothing. You ain't even bless his fields. You just look down on him and you receive Abel's offering according to the stories. You made that man mad enough, to off his own brother because you sat back there, watched all the wrongdoing, and then made him responsible for the shit. Completely unfair, motherfucker. I don't care how you try to put this shit. And you know it, you know what I'm saying? Christianity will have you to believe that if it wasn't for Jesus, if it wasn't for God, they wouldn't be shit. How the hell you gonna serve a God whose morals are less genuine, than yours, are less good? How does that even work? You know what I'm saying? When this guy is allowing sacrifice of animals and all kind of stuff over a mistake that he made, even with Job, the man done did all the good in the world. And he over here playing games with the motherfucker that he supposed to be beefing with, trying to prove a goddamn point. And everybody calls that a win just because after that man done lost all his family, he done went through all this shit. He come back and done had another family because he so-called didn't curse God or whatever. Another family and some more shit. That ain't no motherfucking way. You think that man didn't miss his first family? I love my kids, you know what I'm saying? It can't no God in the world tell me to sacrifice none of them. You got to be done lost your goddamn mind. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm trying to question who the fuck is you, bitch, because you sure ain't God. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was a loving one like me, you know, you would not offer your offspring up for sacrifice. And okay, Abraham didn't do it because you so-called provided a ram in the bush. But then you come along and so-called crucified or had your own son off crucified. For what? To prove a point again. You know what I'm saying? All to prove a motherfucking point. Talk about, you know what I'm saying? He died for somebody's sins and all of that. And motherfuckers out here still sinning and doing all kind of other shit. Like, that was supposed to have like a magical effect or something. Like, sin should have been, you know what I'm saying, not even by universal law even supposed to be permitted. There should not even be no avenue for that anymore. You know what I'm saying? If it had did its job or its purpose. The morale that you would tell people thou should not kill, but then tell the people that you show favoritism to, that it's okay when you so-called send them to. So what the fuck that makes everybody else? How could you say love thy neighbors and love everybody? How could you be a God of love when you don't love your children? You don't love all your children. I love all my children. Every last one of them. Down to the grandchildren, all my brothers and sisters. It don't matter what you say about them. Gonna always love them. You know what I'm saying? How the hell do you put one set of your children above the other, talking about my chosen ones and all that dumb shit, when the motherfuckers have always, even in the Bible, done the worst things on this planet than the so-called motherfuckers that you are accused of sinning just because you said thou art my chosen ones? What kind of... So fuck everybody else, right? You the one fucked all this shit up. You the one sent your enemy down here to deceive man, according to the book. How the hell can you even be more moral than a man with that kind of a mind frame, with that kind of a mentality? There are men with better ethics and morals than that.